Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Scoreboard Keepers. Nothing like, running into some horrible violence with a family member, but one that's so close enough to be your biological son. That's another level. We'll be right back in 30 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to the Scoreboard Keepers. You're around here, we'll keep the seats. We keep the score. So if you want to get on the board, make your point. If it makes sense, we'll add it to the board. If it don't, we won't. Scoreboard Keepers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Scoreboard Keepers. I am your host, the Ref. Where I keep you up to score and everything sports, hip hop, and hot topics. And we got this is a gut wrencher right here, boy. Telling you, man. We all go through things with our family members, and it could be cousins, it could be, it could be step brothers and step sisters, step fathers, step mothers. We go through something, but very rarely do you hear about something like a mother and a son. That's kind of unusual. It's always beef, but at some point, the son always should realize that this is the mom, this is mom, this is the mother, Mom Dukes, and that's where it all should stop, and that's where it all should end. But sometimes it just doesn't happen that way, man, and it makes me wonder. Is it drugs? Like, what is it? Let's get right into it.
And I wonder.
Beautiful.
Come on, Taya. Come on, baby.
Woman who was known for her powerful singing voice was shot and killed early Saturday morning. Police say
She has a beautiful voice. She was sounding just like En Vogue right there. I mean, no sample, no none. I mean, that's good to be live like that, to sound almost just like En Vogue. It's pretty impressive. Very strong voice.
On September 18th, 2021, a woman was found shot in her own driveway. One bullet straight through the chest. She was supposed to be on stage the very next day, singing, raising awareness about domestic violence. Instead, she became the victim. At first, it looked like a random argument gone wrong. Then investigators realized something darker. The person who pulled the trigger wasn't a stranger. It wasn't an intruder. It was her own son. So how does a son look his mother dead in the eye and then bang? And why does this kind of tragedy keep repeating itself, where the people trying to stop violence end up trapped inside it? Because what this mother ignored, what she kept protecting, and what everyone around her failed to take seriously is exactly what led to her death. But to understand how it reached that moment, we have to go back, before the driveway, before the argument, before the gunshot, to see who she really was. Let me know where you're watching from, and share your thoughts in the comments. You're watching Hidden Crime Network. Welcome to Spotsylvania County, Virginia, known for the crossroads of the Civil War, where battles were fought and history was written in blood. But this story isn't about the past. It's about a woman who had finally started living her dream after years of struggle, right before it was ripped away. Her name was LaToya Clara Acree, born November 23, 1979, to Talia Acree and Milton Carpenter. Raised in a family that believed in faith, hard work, and using your gifts to lift others up. And less than 48 hours before her death, she still believed everything at home was under control. She had a gift, a voice that could shake a room, the kind that hit you in the chest and touched your soul. She sang at Mount Hope Baptist Church, and when she did, people didn't just listen, they felt it.
We agreed it was over and we were through. We can't be friends. We can't be friends.
I dare you to let me build you a completely free e-commerce store.
Her voice
Preloaded.
is absolutely beautiful. Her voice is absolutely beautiful. You hear what I'm telling you? She has a gift. Her voice is powerful. Some of us are just born with gifts, man. I mean, we all have our office, but when you got a voice box like that, like that's a little special than the average. It's a little bit more special than the average, man. You know, that I mean, it's just so it reminds me of like I'm gonna say it, man. I dare to say it, man. It reminds me of Whitney a little bit. You know, when you just got that special thing going on and you sound so, you know, so natural. It comes, she just has it.
But LaToya wasn't waiting for someone to discover her. She was raising 4 children, largely on her own, working multiple jobs to keep food on the table, clothes on their backs, and a roof over their heads.
Right.
And still, she found a way to build. Cosmetology license, opened her own salon, created a wig line, LaToya's A Hair, got certified in phlebotomy, associate degree in criminal justice, then went back to school at Walden University for social work. She was stacking skills, making moves. But still, the people closest to her knew something wasn't right at home. In 2019, she joined True Soul, a DC area band, and she became the voice. Traveling the South, filling clubs with power that reminded people of Whitney Houston, acting in indie films, rising fast.
Hey, didn't I tell y'all? Look, I just said that. I just said I dare say that she was reminding me of Whitney. Wow. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. That's absolutely crazy, man. They echoed my sentiment.
But while everything on the outside looked like success, inside her home, there was someone she couldn't fix, someone she loved, someone she kept protecting. And on September 17th, 2021, that protection was about to cost her everything. While LaToya,
that's my jam too. Everything. If this world was mine, I would place at your feet all that I own. You've been so good to me. If this world was mine. Hey, listen, I ain't got that voice like that. I like that song though, but she made it sound good. I ain't even gonna do it. No, I'm not gonna do it an injustice like that. Listen, she can blow. That's what we call it. When we tell you can blow, and she can blow.
Was out building her life, performing, working, chasing dreams. There was someone at home who wasn't building anything. Her youngest son, Elijah Deontay Smith, early 20s, no job,
no direction, no drive. And he wasn't just unmotivated, he was entitled. He treated LaToya's home like a hotel, a place to crash, eat, and do whatever he wanted without consequences. She had rules, basic ones: respect the house, don't bring women over for sex, show some decency. Elijah ignored all of them. And when she called him out, he got angry. But it wasn't just disrespect, it was violence. Years earlier, Elijah had assaulted his own brother during an argument with LaToya, physically attacked him because he tried to step in and defend their mother. That should have been the warning. But LaToya didn't kick him out. She kept giving him chances, kept hoping he'd change, kept believing that love and patience would turn him around. Because that's who LaToya was.
You mean basically being a mom, not giving up on her children. That's, wow. No mom would. Wow. And he knew it too. He knew it. That's just a mom being a mom, man. And he took complete advantage of that. She would have never given up on him. So I'm not even going to sit here and say, why did she do this, that, and the third? No, because that's what moms do, man. And they expect them kids to eventually get it, you know? And apparently he didn't.
Was a mother who couldn't abandon her child, even when that child was dangerous. But Elijah, he wasn't trying to change. He was comfortable, living rent-free, no responsibilities, no accountability. Just a grown man leeching off his mother while she worked herself to exhaustion. And the more she gave, the more he took, until September 17th, 2021, the night LaToya came home early from a trip, the night she walked through her own front door and saw something she wasn't supposed to see, something that crossed a line she'd warned him about over and over. And this time, she wasn't going to let it slide. She had no idea that standing up to him one final time was the very act that cost her her life. If you were her, would you have cut him off earlier? Let me know in the comments.
She's had a lot of confidence issues in the beginning. She had lost, 100 pounds. She got a new boyfriend. She was really, really happy. It seemed like things were just turned around for her.
September 17th, 2021. LaToya had been out of town. A short trip, nothing major. Just a break before what was supposed to be one of the biggest performances of her life. A domestic violence awareness event scheduled for the very next day. She came home that night expecting peace. Instead, she walked into her worst fear. Elijah was in the house with a woman having sex in her home after she'd told him over and over that this was the one thing she wouldn't tolerate. Not disrespect in passing, not an argument, full-on violation of the one boundary she'd drawn in the sand. And this time, LaToya didn't just get upset. She snapped. Pack your things, you're done. You're leaving. Tonight. The argument exploded, voices raised, emotions high, and it didn't stay inside. It spilled out into the driveway around 12:30 in the morning. Neighbors could probably hear it through their windows. Elijah loading his bags into his car, LaToya standing there, making sure he actually left this time. And then, through the passenger side window, he raised a gun and fired. One shot, straight into her chest. The sound cracked through the quiet neighborhood. Neighbors jolted awake, grabbed their phones, dialed 911. Deputies from the Spotsylvania County Sheriff's Office arrived within minutes. They found LaToya in the driveway, critically wounded, blood pooling beneath her, life slipping away. They started CPR immediately, rushed her to the hospital.
What kind of son? What kind of son? That's a demon. That's a damn demon, man. Like, I'm just saying, that's your mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, how could you even do something like that and then just pull off and leave your mom out there in the driveway like that? I mean, why would you even have to pull? Who pulls their gun out at their mother? Who does that? Who does that? Where does that even come from? That's not even normal. There's so many things wrong with that. Not only is she, first of all, she's a woman. And wait. You're not even at your house. That's your mom. There's nothing on this planet that will make me understand that. That's the only reason I'm saying that he has to be a demon, because that kind of stuff is just not normal. That's demonic. It's not normal. It's not normal behavior, man, at all. I don't care what you got built up inside of you. When it comes to your mom, she's already letting you do what you want to do. You know, I mean, she's giving you all kinds of leeway. She just asked you not to do one thing. Why would you even want to be having sex in her house? Why would you not want to go get a hotel? Man, that's crazy.
Doctors fought to save her, but the damage was too severe. LaToya Clara Acree was pronounced dead from a gunshot wound to the upper body. The woman who was supposed to be on stage the next day, using her voice to raise awareness about domestic violence, became a victim of it instead. And if that sounds familiar, it should. It's the same tragic pattern we covered in the Kelly Ann Mays case, a domestic violence activist murdered by her own husband. If you haven't seen that story, I will link it at the end. So why do the people trying to fight violence keep ending up victims of it? Meanwhile, as doctors were trying to save LaToya's life, Elijah wasn't at the hospital. He didn't call 911 and definitely wasn't at the scene. He was gone. And what he did next shows exactly who he really was.
Was larger than life. LaToya Acree sang in the band True Soul alongside Caesar Roy.
She's had a lot of confidence issues in the beginning. She had lost, 100 pounds. She got a new boyfriend. She was really, really happy. It seemed like things were just turned around for her, and this happens.
A gunshot wound to the chest.
Early Saturday morning, 41-year-old LaToya Acree was shot and killed in the driveway of her Spotsylvania County home. Her son, 21-year-old Elijah Smith, was arrested and charged with her murder. Roy says he just saw her hours earlier and couldn't believe the news.
So obviously God had a better plan, a bigger concert for her to sing in.
Before she was killed, LaToya and the band were preparing for a big show coming up this Saturday at an event to raise awareness about domestic violence. Now the band will dedicate the show to their late singer, who police say died a victim of domestic.
At 4 Mile Fork Motel, a cheap spot not far from the house, the kind of place you go when you don't want to be found.
So now he all of a sudden has money for a hotel room. So now all of a sudden he has money for a hotel room. Something he could have done in the very beginning, right? Something he could have done in the very beginning. Now all of a sudden he has money for that. To you know what I mean? To not be.
You can create any character you want in seconds.
This used to require huge Hollywood budgets.
That's where Elijah went. And the woman who'd been at the center of the whole argument, she was with him. While LaToya was being rushed to the hospital, while
what? And what kind of female was that? What kind of female was that? What kind of female was that? She's still hanging around after you just shot your mother and you're on the run? I hope they're looking for her as well.
Doctors were fighting to save her life. Elijah was sitting in a motel room like nothing had happened, like he hadn't just shot his own mother in the chest. But it didn't take long for police to find him. They tracked his movements, surrounded the motel, and when they moved in, Elijah didn't resist. No chase, no standoff, just a quiet arrest.
That don't look like a motel to me. That looks like a very nice hotel. I've seen some motels. That don't look like a motel. Not with all them damn levels. Where the hell they get that money from? Who came up with that money? And I'm wondering if the female was pressuring him to get a place, or she wasn't going to sleep with him. I wonder if that's what was going on. I wonder if he was telling that woman that was his house.
And when they searched his vehicle, they found the gun and a shell casing. Physical evidence tying him directly to the murder. There was no question about who pulled the trigger. No mystery, no doubt. Elijah Deontay Smith had killed his mother, and the evidence proved it. But now came the real battle. Because in court, it wouldn't just be about whether he did it. It would be about what to call it and how much his life was worth after he took hers. Elijah Deontay Smith was charged with second-degree murder and use of a firearm in the commission of a felony. Serious charges, decades behind bars if convicted. But his defense team had a strategy. They didn't deny he pulled the trigger. The evidence was too strong for that. Instead, they argued it wasn't murder. It was voluntary manslaughter. Heat of passion, an emotional explosion. A son who snapped in the middle of a heated argument with his mother. Not a calculated execution, not cold-blooded, just a tragic mistake born out of rage. The prosecution pushed back hard. They emphasized the deliberate nature of the act. Elijah didn't
listen. I don't know what laws they have down there in Spotsylvania, but I mean, listen. He was warned several times about doing things like that. This wasn't no passion. This wasn't him caught in passion. No, he knew exactly what he was doing. And when he got caught in the act, which eventually everybody knows that he was going to eventually be caught if he don't have his own place and he can't afford to go to motels. I'm pretty sure that's not his first time even doing that. He's probably doing it every time she goes out of town. But he was probably embarrassed. He was probably embarrassed. Mom comes home early, catches you and the woman in there, and you done told the woman it's your house, and she put both of y'all out. So in order for you to feel like a man in front of this woman, you riding around with a stranger and you shoot your mom. Man, I can't wait to see how this plays out.
Just lash out. He aimed a gun through the car window, pointed it at his mother, and fired. That's not heat of passion. That's a choice. The jury heard both sides, saw the evidence, listened to the arguments, and in the end, they sided with the prosecution. Guilty. Second-degree murder, use of a firearm in the commission of a felony. Sentencing came on April 14, 2023. Judge Ricardo Rigual imposed 44 years in prison with 10 years suspended. That meant an effective sentence of 34 years. Elijah was 23 years old at the time. If he served...
What? You gotta be kidding. You gotta be kidding me. You got to be kidding me, man. 30 years? Man, I don't know what's going on with our legal system. I don't know what's going on with our judicial system, man. I just don't. It's people that get more time for that, for just marijuana and a couple bags of drugs. 30 years with 44 years with 10 suspended. Suspended for what? Unbelievable, man.
Serves the full sentence with good behavior, he could be released around age 56 or 57. For LaToya's family, the number felt hollow. Her niece, Kiana Carpenter, stood outside the courthouse and made her feelings clear. My aunt didn't deserve this. He's a threat to society, family or not. If he could kill again, I'm sure he would. I'll forgive him, but I'll never forget. Later, on social media, she went further. 34 years is a slap on the wrist for killing the woman who gave you life, a woman who raised you, protected you, and still let you stay after you'd assaulted her. For the family, No amount of time could measure what was really lost. Because LaToya wasn't just a victim, the world lost another great gifted singer.
This remake of me 79. I'd be so happy if you join me. Thank you so much.
In this video, I'm gonna remake Sports Car by Tate McRae. I've never heard it. I'm using co-producer by Output for this. It's basically
We belong together, and you know that I'm right. Why do you play with my heart? Why do you play with my mind? When I can't sleep at night without holding you tight, girl, each time I try, I just break down and cry. Pain in my head, or I'd rather be dead, spinning around and around.
LaToya Clara Acree was finally living the life she'd been chasing. Rising singer, confident, free. And she was about to use her voice to raise awareness about domestic violence.
Man, this boy, man, it's a damn shame. It really is a damn shame. Like, I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is that I noticed that the father's not around. I don't know where he is. I don't know what happened. You know, things happen. But I just know this, man. Like, he needed somebody to crack his ass. He needed somebody to crack him upside his damn head. He just run around there pulling guns on people. And I guess that's his way of feeling tough or doing whatever it is he think he has to do. You know what I mean? But that ain't what real men do. That ain't what real men do. I mean, you could have went and got a spot, man. You could have went and got a place. You could have did anything you had to do instead of going that route to where you're taking your mother's life because you can't afford to go get a hotel room. Just imagine if you just had your shit together and you would go get a damn hotel room and take that woman with you. You wouldn't even have been there when she got there. Why? It's this woman's out on the road trying to make money to pay her bills, and here you are back in her house having sex, man. Crazy.
Instead, she became a victim of it, killed by the son she refused to give up on. It's the same tragic pattern we saw in the Kellyanne Mays case, an advocate trying to fight violence only to fall victim to it. And it raises a question we don't like to ask. At what point does protecting someone turn into protecting the person who will destroy you? We really got to do better. You could at least check out this resource for practical tips on how to survive long enough to call 911 in any dangerous situation. LaToya kept giving Elijah chances, even after the violence, even after the disrespect, even after everyone around her saw the danger. She couldn't abandon him. But love without boundaries isn't protection, it's permission. And
man, let me tell you something. He ain't get away with nothing. You tell man, you must honor your mother and your father, and your days will be long. Let me tell you something. You committed blasphemy, man. You shot and killed the one that gave you birth. That's blasphemy. That is absolute blasphemy. That woman carried you around here for 9 months and you did something like that. Spoiled rotten. Spoiled rotten.
In this case, it cost her everything. Drop a comment. Have you ever had to cut off a family member for your own safety? Hit like, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and check out the Kellyanne Mays case if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss important updates. Until next time, remember, compassion without boundaries isn't love, it's a trap. And
yeah, it most definitely is. No, I haven't had to do that with a family member. If I ever get to the point where I have to, they getting the hell up out of there or something's going to happen. No, no, we're not getting to that level. We're definitely not getting to that level. It is absolutely insanity. It's nothing that you can tell me to help me or make me understand why a son would do something like that to his mother. How do you explain that to anybody? The entire family is going to disown him. The entire family. What woman would want to be with a man that can't afford to get a hotel room? What was? How do you feel as though you were going to impress her by your mom coming home and finding out that you're inside of her house doing something that you ain't got no business doing? Just imagine. I'm pretty sure you was up in there walking around like you just had it going, like you was the man of the house and wasn't paying bill to first. You wasn't paying bill to first, and that's the problem. Man, this just disturbs me, man, because I just don't know what could have been going through that young man's head by pulling a gun on your mom. It's pure insanity. It's pure insanity, man. Ladies and gentlemen, man, listen, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thumb up this video and leave a comment down below on how you feel about this situation. Just put in there what's the first thing that comes to your mind. I don't even care. I'm going to get down in the comments as well and reply to some of your comments because I don't even know how to feel about this one. I don't understand it. It's just not registering up here. I would love to hear your feedback. Do you guys know somebody that went through something like this or it's similar? Just tell me and explain. So make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I thank you guys for watching. Until the next episode of the Scoreboard Keepers, I am your host, the Ref. God bless everybody out there and peace. Man, somebody help me connect the dots.